going to be talking about alternative home gardening solutions using a growing system. So let's get into today's show. I'm joined by none other, Cass from Home Growers, who will explain to us what a growing solution is. Cass, thank you so much for joining us.
Always great to be here, and I'm glad that we can present the Grow Barrel.
Absolutely, I'm so excited. So just explain to us what the Grow Barrel does.
Because the Grow Barrel is probably the finest growing system that you can get. It's a soil-based solution, so that's the one thing that people need to understand.
Okay.
It has an integrated worm farm. Now, there's some magic around that, because what happens is the soil has to be kept in the best condition possible. And the only way you're going to do that, and you can't beat nature, and that is to use worms. So you have red wiggler worms that are inside the barrel. You feed them by taking your kitchen scraps and you put it inside the barrel, and they munch away on those scraps and they populate that in the soil with highest possible nutrients. And the plants that are inside here benefit often from those nutrients. And the runoff, when you water this barrel, the runoff runs all the way through and it collects in the lower trough, which is reharvested. You can take it water harvesting process and basically water your vegetables again, and the whole cycle continues. So it's highly nutritious, it's very effective, it's water harvesting, it's organic, there are no chemicals, you've got a worm farm in there. There is, honestly, in my opinion, there is nothing better than this.
So just to explain on this kitchen scrap, you're saying it's anything from eggshells, tea bags, you just slot them in here, and where do the worms come from?
Okay, so very good question, and I'm glad you're asking them in that order, because when we talk about kitchen scraps, we refer to everything that is not acidic.
Okay.
So we do not put in meat, we do not put in fish, we do not put in bones, we do not put in citrus, we do not put in onions, we do not put in bread. Some people don't and do put in banana skins. I personally don't. They decompose slowly anyway, but the worms go and break them down. Now, the interesting fact about a red wiggler specifically is they are the most incredible little creatures. So what they do is they can pick up the electromagnetic discharge from plants. So as soon as they feel that, and they can sense from the soil and the root system that the plant is no longer producing an electromagnetic charge, the red wiggler worm goes up and eats and disposes of the decaying matter and puts it back into the soil as fresh food. So that is what's remarkable. So a lot of people get squeamish and they go, oh, I don't want worms in there. I don't want worms in their food source.
Yes.
But you will not get worms. They live beneath the soil. Actually, shy. You know, you can talk and you can go around, we'll look at this barrel and I can scratch the surface of the soil. And as we scratch, you'll see the little red wigglers. And what will happen is they will disappear because they don't want to see you.
Yes.
And they don't like light. So they're always in the barrel. They are remarkable.
And does this barrel come in only blue? Let's say I want an orange, barrel, red looking barrel. Does it come in various sizes, colors?
Yes, another good question as well. The barrel comes in many colors.
Okay.
But we only work with two colors. We work with the blue and we work with the green. And the reason being is that the blue and the green barrel are the only two barrels that are considered to be food safe barrels.
Okay.
In terms of, now if you understand the history where the barrel came from, in terms of America and Europe, those were the first few areas that started recycling barrels in terms of making them into farming, growing units. That's where the movement started. And there are various laws around the world that govern the usage of a green and a blue barrel specifically. They are termed as single-use barrels. You can't use them more than once for transportation.
Okay.
Whereas the other barrels, the red, the brown, the silver grey, and the yellow, those are used for many other substances.
Hazardous stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And a lot of people come here and they go, oh, I'd like a yellow barrel, look pretty in my garden, a red barrel. So I say to them, you must understand, when you look at colors, okay, red and yellow are warning signs. That's telling you, keep away from me, I'm dangerous.
Yes.
It's like a robot. When you're going in your car and you're driving, you're heading towards a traffic light to change colors.
Yes.
Orange means be careful, red means stop. There's a reason for that.
Yes.
The same with the barrels. The barrels works exactly the same way. And the FDA, if you go read about it, in America, the Food and Drug Administration, they closely monitor and watch in terms of the shipping liners, in terms of moving of single-use barrels being green and blue. So that's why we will only use
Green and blue.
And to top that off, we only use brand new barrels. We
Okay.
don't recycle or upcycle. And the reason being is that we need to know that if we are giving you a barrel, we know that there's never been anything in it that's toxic.
Absolutely.
And that is very, very important.
Because we're growing our own food, which goes
100%.
into our stomachs, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's an empty barrel. This is one that's like fully kitted with crops already growing. Yeah, it looks so stunning because I can already see different type of vegetables here. So just explain what this barrel has and yeah, and also the soil, I suppose it's potting soil as well, right?
So what we do is we do a mix, again, only on organic.
Okay.
We do a mix of potting
Okay.
mix and composting. And by turning it up into a mix before we feed it into the barrel, and the reason why we're using composting is because that is a beautiful blend for those red wigglers to eat as well. So once you've thrown the soil in, etc., those guys are eating already.
Okay.
And they're creating beautiful future nutrients for your soil system. And also what you need to understand is when you populate your barrel for the first time with soil, gravity also plays an effect.
Okay.
So as you've loaded it, it's very full.
Yes.
And after a few weeks, you see that the soil is actually dropping. And that's only because gravity is pulling it down. So you have to top up as well. That you've got to do.
Okay.
But in terms of the varieties that we got here, I mean, we've got different types of mints. We've got different basils. We have varieties of it. We've got lettuces. We've got spinach. We've got blood sorrel. We've got a whole host of incredible herbs and vegetables. And they honestly just carry on growing. They really and truly do. What we're still going to do with this particular one, and as many others that we have at Home Growers, we're going to get them ready for season.
Okay.
So we're going to get tomatoes soon. You're going to get eggplants. You're going to get everything. You're going to see an explosion of color, and you're not going to see the blue. Now, the one thing, like at my house, I've got a blue barrel, and people say to me when they come in, they say, no, I don't want blue, I want green. So I said, I'll be honest with you, my first choice is a blue barrel, and I'll tell you why I like blue.
Okay.
Because when the green is green, there's a contrast, and it stands out. So you see this explosion of absolute beautiful greenery. Now, if it was green on green, you don't really see the green, which is also very special. So, but it's a really remarkable system. So this one here, we might be lucky to show you. I don't know if we will. As I lift this open, we might be able to see some worms. There's a baby worm that's in there.
Okay.
But you're not really going to see it too well.
They're probably just
but they
sleeping.
crawl up and they don't like, they'll come back later. As we throw food in, they'll end up coming through.
Yeah.
And they'll end up harvesting the food, putting it back into the food source, and they are happy.
So a couple of questions, right? You said the grow barrel takes soil, right? How many bags of soil or compost would one need to fill up? And when you're filling up the bags, is there a waiting period before you start planting?
Okay. So when we set up the grow barrel, we take it as an empty unit.
Yeah?
We remove the cap.
Okay.
We take newspaper, but the non-glossy newspaper.
Okay.
We make little balls out of the newspaper, and we shove it into the top of the barrel.
Till it's full.
Correct, or close to full.
Okay.
And then, only then, because inside this pipe there are holes.
Yes,
and
I can
those are
see
the
that.
exit points for the worms to get in and out into the soil baseline. So when we pour soil in here, we don't want the pipe to fill up. And the reason being, we want ease of passage for those little worms to get around.
Yeah.
So that's what, but they'll munch away. They love newspapers, they really do. So we then pour in the soils of the mix that we do, and we're talking around about 9 bags of potting mix or potting mix stroke composting mix solution inside this, and we just pour it in.
Okay.
And that is it. And then you
So
start planting.
Pour it till it's full to the brim.
That's right.
There's newspaper in here.
That's right.
And then what happens?
And then once it's all settled, we then start the process of putting in our seedling plugs. So we
Okay.
end up putting seedlings in every one of these pockets, and that naturally starts taking effect. The other thing which is beautiful about the barrel, which is really special, because it's 365 degrees as a complete circle is, you're getting different degrees of heat that hit the barrel at different times of the day. So a lot of people say, but what happens if I get more shade or less shade? It doesn't really make a difference, because the barrel itself has got different facets of where the light hits it. So you can take this one here and you put your hand there, it's cool.
Yeah.
But if
Yes,
I go
it
to
is
the side
cool.
there, and you'll find that is warm.
Actually, it is.
That's right. So what happens
Yeah.
is you get a build-up of this magnificent moisture inside the barrel. The root systems grow towards it.
Okay.
And that's why certain veg will grow so much better at different parts of the barrel. And the
Wow.
root systems find it. Nature's magnificent. We
Yeah.
can't teach nature anything. Nature will teach us. Just by
Yeah.
like the worms look after this entire system. Same with the way the roots grow. It is the most remarkable. You'll find that we have mint growing, but the mint was never planted in a pocket, but it was planted on that side, and the rooting system found out where to go because the conditions were perfect, and all of a sudden you have this magnificent growth.
The beauty of nature.
It is absolutely spectacular. And the one thing which you would also notice, which you can see and you can sense it, which you won't on camera, unfortunately, and in the exposure, is the scent. You just rub the leaves and you get this magnificent scent that you get off there. The aroma is absolutely incredible. What you also have, you have a brilliant ecosystem right before your eyes. You'll get your predator insects that will come and eat the insects that cause damage to your plants. So for example, so if we've got
like
fennel,
aphids,
that's right. So fennel will
whiteflies.
grow, the ladybugs will rock up, and they will end up feasting on the aphids, and the cycle continues. The whole thing about this beautiful system is like when I push and talk around anything about home growing. Keep as far away as you can from chemicals and toxins in terms of pesticides. Try and let nature do what nature does best. And nature's working well here. There's no growth hormones in here. There's no chemicals in here. You're not going to get anything better anywhere else than what you have here. If you take this and you rub your hands to it and you smell your hands, the oils, the essential oils that come out of there. I mean, the aromatherapy that one will derive from oils coming from what you've got in a grow barrel is remarkable.
So I just want to find out, how do you maintain the plants? So firstly, I can see we've got a very lovely looking stand here and with some sprinklers, so I suppose this is for watering. However, can one use a watering can, or when we purchase the growing barrel, does it come with this? Just explain to us how we give it some water.
Okay, so the grow barrel doesn't come with a watering system such as this.
Okay.
This was one of, and again, so with home growers, we have such a great movement of customers who come and see us. This was made by one of our customers because he has a grow barrel. He loves his grow barrel, and he went and made this for us that we can put on display. So, and it's really, you plug your hose pipe in it, and it's got all the spray jets, and it basically sprays your barrel. But for a grow barrel, you don't need such an instrument. You take your water from a watering can or a hose pipe, and you water, and I'll show you on the empty one because it's easier. You just water around the sides. That's all you do. You water around the sides. And then you can take a sprayer and spray the pockets. Because remember, the water is going to pull down anyway. So spraying there is just really going to cool the leaves off. But in terms of the nutrients and the hydration and so on, it's going to come from the top.
And then you put a bucket on the ground.
Bucket under there which comes with it, and that's full of nutrients. You pull it out and you pour it back in.
So you recycle the water.
There's total usage of water, recycling, there's harvesting of water. That's why, you've got areas where we don't have, and we've got issues with water supply and so on. This is your solution.
So where do you keep the growing barrel? Is it on the patio, or do you just have to put it outside in full sunlight like this?
It really doesn't make a difference. I mean, we got barrels on property which you've seen before where it's in mostly shade. That performs incredibly well. We've got some that are in direct sunshine that perform incredibly well. So it really doesn't make a difference because, like I said, it's a 360-degree system. It's not going to be in sun the entire day. Because you get a canopy, as you can see, I've got a beautiful canopy that grows. So what happens is you've got all these that are getting shade. So even if it's in direct sun, these guys that are doing incredibly well, they are providing essential shade to those that need the shade. So it's a very, very simple and a very effective system to harvest and grow your own vegetables at home.